Alright, so we're checking out the new ENGWE Engine Pro 2.0. Did a video on the original Engine Pro like a year and a half ago, I think. So I'm just going to cover the things that are different now. Basically, it's the same frame, the same 6061 aluminum, but now we have a upgraded power setup. So we have a bigger battery. It's 52 volts and 16 amp hours, up to I think 62 miles of range. And we've got a 750 watt motor, but now on 52 volts, so it'll burst to 1200 watts. Also the motor has a higher torque rating than previously. It's like 75 newton meters. So this one's going to do a lot better going up hills. The suspension system's the same. You got your front fork suspension, of course, lockout and adjustment just like before. And then you have a single suspension here in the middle. This is a kind of a unique setup here. Basically the whole frame pivots, and the little pivot points there behind the it's right there, and so the whole frame will just pivot up and down. You have a no seat post suspension, but the seat height is adjustable just like before, and same with the handlebar height. And of course the bike does fold down. You have the folding mechanism here. Same 20 by 4-inch fat tires, Chow Yang. And then on the other side here we've got I think these are 160 millimeter rotors. We got hydraulic disc brakes and folding pedals. And I think the bike weighs about the same as before. I'll put the weight up here on the screen. I can't remember exactly what it is. Also, I'll link the original video in the video description. You can decipher all the different changes. I don't have that bike anymore, but you got a thumb throttle here on the left, pedal assist levels here, plus and minus. You turn the bike on, the button over here. Got a nice color screen, though it's a little hard to see in this bright light. You have 5 levels of pedal assist, and you have a trigger switch here for your derailleur. And the derailleur here is an 8-speed Shimano Altus, and we have a nice derailleur guard here, as well as a chain guard here on both sides, front and back on the chain guard. The other big change here is on the sensor. It's no longer a cadence sensor, it's a torque sensor. So the results here on the speed test are going to be a little bit different, because you don't get full power when you compare it to cadence sensor. Your power levels depend on how much effort you put in. So we'll talk about that during the speed test, but let's go ahead and do that, the speed test and the ride test. Okay, we'll just start off in pedal assist level 0, and that's with no motor assistance, just to show you that you can ride this bike without any motor assistance. The battery's dead, for example. So let's go ahead and get it going, moving here. Alright, so you have to gear down. Alright, so now it's a little bit easier. No problem. I'm already up to 8-9 miles an hour. Gear up a little bit here and go a little faster. So, no motor assistance. Totally rideable without any motor help. If you're wondering, you just have to utilize the 8-speed derailleur, gear down to the first gear to a lower gear, and get the bike moving. It's totally fine. All right, come to a stop here. Let's go to pedal assist level 1. So it should give a little bit of motor assistance, but it's going to depend on how much, because it's got a torque sensor, it's going to depend on how much effort you put in. The motor kicks in right away. They advertise a 0-second motor start. So you're going to want to use the gears when you have a torque sensor to maximize or optimize the speed you get. So just even in level 1 here, I'm already up to like 13.5 miles an hour. But if I gear up and put in more effort, I can go really fast. And if I want to put in less effort, I can just go to pedal assist level 2 and maintain that speed with less effort. But what's happening is the motor is helping you out now a little bit more. And I'm not freewheeling, which is good, on a cadence sensor, you're typically freewheeling. So if we go to level 3 here, it doesn't really give me that much more speed unless I really put in the effort, which you can do. So the speed on a kind of torque sensor bike isn't going to vary as much compared to a cadence sensor where you have like set limits, because it's giving full motor power. You're not going to get full motor power unless you are putting in a lot of effort. It's going to try and match your effort to help you out. So you can see even on level 3, you know, without that much effort, I'm actually going slower. Let's go level 4 here. Kind of sort of even out my effort here. Not going to go too crazy, but putting a little bit more effort. And if I gear down at this level, I'm freewheeling. And when you freewheel on a torque sensor bike, it does not, it does not, you hear the motor just turn off. So I'm going to go to another section of road here where I can go faster. Alright, so level 4 still, but I'm going to gear all the way up. Alright, maximum gear level, level 8. Now, I am putting in some effort here, but I'm almost 20 miles an hour now. Let's go to level 5. And I'm already 25 miles an hour. Let's go around this curve here. Putting in a pretty good amount of effort here. Get up to 27 and a half, and it starts to, the motor cuts off. That guy, another e-bike there. He doesn't have a speed limiter. So what happens there is this bike has a speed limiter, and when you hit 20, well, it's supposed to be 28, the motor will just turn off. So even though I was putting in a lot of pedaling effort, could go faster, but the motor cuts off. And let's show you the throttle only. You get full power. Doesn't matter what pedal level you're in. Yeah, it's 20 miles an hour. On my GPS speedometer, it's bouncing around between 19 and 20 miles an hour. And that's it. You can't, if you want to go faster, you have to gear all the way up to level 8, gear 8, and then put in a lot of effort. Then you can go up to 28 miles an hour. So pretty good braking power too. Alright, so a few thoughts here on the bike. In terms of the way it feels comfort-wise, it's the same as the previous version. Very comfortable suspension, hardly feel any of the bumps, seats comfortable. Don't believe they've changed much in terms of the suspension. What is different now is the power level, and you probably couldn't tell as much during the speed test that I recorded. I can tell 52 volts versus 48 volts, you definitely feel the extra power and the torque. So that's the main difference here with this newer version, is they improved the specs, I guess, because a lot of other bike companies are going to 52 volts. And of course, the next step is 60 volts. The Hobby version 3.0 in about a year to a year and a half. But yeah, if you're looking for an e-bike, you want more power. Obviously, you want to go and up the voltage, but you're just going to pay more money. I believe they tried to keep the price the same for this version, although I think tariffs might be kicking in pretty soon. So, depending on when you're watching this video, pricing might be different. It might have changed, might have increased or decreased. So, check the link down in the description for the latest pricing, because it fluctuates pretty constantly, almost daily. But overall, just like the original version. This version rides really nice and just has significantly more power. But the downside to that extra power is that the range is slightly reduced in terms of the what's advertised on paper. I believe you can counteract that with proper use of the torque sensor, because if you're providing more effort and the motor is providing less effort, you're going to get more range. But if you're primarily on the throttle, not pedaling the whole time, and the motor's doing all the work, then you're going to see a reduction in range overall, because you're actually using a lot more power. Also, other factors like hills. If you're on a lot of hills, for example, then you're going to see a reduction in range. But this bike is, with the additional torque and additional voltage, it's going to be great for those hills. So if you were having issues on the old bike on hills, this one should resolve that with the additional power and torque on the motor. So anyway, I think that's going to cover for this video. The link will be down in the video description if you guys want to check it out. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video.